Hi there. So we're back here at Blood and Iron Martial Arts with Luís Preto, and we're going to take a look at this week's tip of the week. Okay, now I'm going to perform this strike towards Lee in 3 different ways. What was the difference? The difference was that when I performed the first strike, I mismanaged distance by not approaching enough. When I performed the second strike, I approached too much. When I performed the third strike, I approached just enough to hit him with the tip of the sword, which is what I was looking for. When teaching striking motions, people shouldn't focus exclusively on teaching movements. It's also important to teach distance awareness. Okay? And if after learning the strike, if every single time that I perform the strike against my opponent steps back with a parry, again, what happens is that I never get any visual feedback to let me know if the strike was performed with proper distance or not. So, to prevent this, when you start developing parries, instead of having the defender always parrying every single strike, have him parry just every other strike. And so, on the first strike, he doesn't parry in order to allow the attacker to perform the strike and be aware and realize if his stepping is correct or not. Okay? Because if you do this, if he allows me to first test my strike, and if I do perform the strike, and if the strike was too short, I understand that the stepping needs to be different, and so I correct it. Okay? If it stays there, and I perform the strike, and I get the visual feedback which tells me that I was too far away, okay, then I will correct myself. Okay, so, perform the first strike without the opponent moving backwards. Okay, this way the attacker gets the feeling that the strike was properly, the distance was properly managed. And so now, on the second strike, he performs the same way, and the defender steps back with a parry and parries normally. Okay? So, once again, first strike. For example, now a different strike towards the knee on the other side. The first strike, he stays there to allow me to get a good feel for distance. And now on the second strike, he will parry. Okay? Valid for every single strike. Third strike, for example, on this side. Step in too much. Okay, so I must manage, correct my distance. I will do it again. Okay, now distance management is correct. Now he'll parry. Once again, thanks for Luís Preto and for Blood and Iron Martial Arts for their patience. Hope this weekly tip is useful, and see you next week.